On the program today, there is Longhorn baseball to review. They did win last night, and now they get ready. It's a pretty quick flip turnaround, and they will play tomorrow night at UFC Eugene Farr Field against Kansas State. They'll play the Wildcats, and we'll have that for you here on the Horn tomorrow night. Also, Longhorn football continues its work. There's some sound we'll hear from Sark. Remember, he was at the availability yesterday that Jeff Howe was at, and we'll have more on that, and certainly more on that coming as we navigate our way through our Longhorn notebook at the bottom of the hour. We do have Inconceivable, so we've got a couple of Inconceivable items to get to. And do you, by the way, Cameron, is today an Inconceivable day for you? Do you have anything to offer today?
Nothing yet, but I'm sure I can find some stuff.
Okay. All right. By the way, I mentioned yesterday when Ken Parker, who, of course, is one of our resident golfnicks here, and I think just about all of us in the building love golf. There's those of us who are not good at it, like me. I enjoy it. What do you keep a handicap?
I haven't this year because I hadn't been able to play during football season because I got so busy. I think at my best, I was about a 6 to 8 handicap. Right now, I'm probably closer to a 12.
Oh, I feel so sorry for you. 12 handicap 12 and you're not good. Come on. I play 4 to 5 rounds a year, if that, when on vacation. So I tell people on a good day I'm a 25er.
Yeah.
On a good day. So that's okay. I enjoy it. I don't get too caught up in, if I miss a shot or make a double bogey on a hole, which happens frequently. So I don't really worry too much about that. I feel decent about making a bogey. I feel really good when I make a par on that. So
it's all about having fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And fun, obviously, to follow the Masters. Is that your favorite of the 4 majors?
Yeah, I think so.
Is it really? Okay. I mean, because I know it is for a lot of the guys, not just here in the building, but a lot of folks in the U.S. with the history that goes by. What is it Jim Nantz says? Other than hello, friends, a tradition unlike any other.
Yep.
I believe. I really enjoy the Masters. It's not my favorite of the majors. But,
okay.
But I really enjoy it.
What's your favorite?
It's always been the Open Championship.
Okay. It has to be either the Open or the Masters.
I think so because of birthplace of golf and everything like that. I understand some folks saying it was one time the old golf writer from the Dallas Morning News years ago, Harless Way, used to say if St. Andrews, the course, if you transplanted the golf course of St. Andrews to the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, it'd be a $2 Muni in Mesquite, is what he used to say because of the way it's laid out. But it's about the history, the contour, the wind, so many other things that are a part of St. Andrews and really all of the Rota, all of the open rotation courses. We commonly refer to as the British Open, but it's really the Open Championship. I do like the U.S. Open, but the U.S. Open is, I think, more punitive than rewarding. And I think that's the way the USGA likes it.
Yeah.
They like it to be about as stern a test at golf as you could possibly have, where winning scores in the black numerals are commonplace, and they don't have a problem with guys winning the Open Championship or winning the U.S. Open Championship with an over par score. When I watch the U.S. Open and I see guys struggle, I think I'd have 150 on that course. That kind of thing. It just would be incredibly difficult to do that. And
it's not always enjoyable to watch.
Yeah. And then the PGA can be just kind of the opposite, really, depending on the golf. Now they do a good job of putting it on some tough golf courses. They do. I mean, you play a PGA at Southern Hills, it could be difficult. You play it at Winged Foot, it could be difficult. That sort of thing. But they also put it at some places that they try out, and sometimes the guys just tear it up.
Yep.
So it's a different feel. Of course, the PGA is different now that it's gone back to like it did in the 60s and 70s, being between the Masters and the U.S. Open, playing it in May, and instead of it being in August, because it just got too darn hot to play in August and virtually anywhere, unless you went up to, say, maybe to Whistling Straits or, went to someplace up north in a northern climate. Even then, sometimes it might be humid. It might be difficult as well. So I think the PGA is probably, of the four major championships, probably sits at a solid number 4 in most folks' mind.
I think so.
I think so as well. My co-host, of course, is the pride of Northwest Williamson County.
That's a shame, by the way.
And
I'm the pride of any area of this great state.
He is certainly a proud graduate of Florence High School.
Oh, there's no doubt about that.
You know him best for his outstanding work at Horns 24/7, Jeff Howe, and I'm about to ask him a question I've never asked.
Can I ask you guys a question before you
Let me ask my question first.
All right. My question doesn't pertain to what you're about to ask, but
I know, exactly. That's why I want to go ahead and I'll clear the deck of this. Is there a golf course anywhere around where you grew up in Florence? Is the closest ones the ones at Sun City?
Yeah, those. But see, that wasn't until I was in high school. I mean, probably Killeen Municipal.
Wow. Because there's lots of wide open space out there, in Northwest Williamson County.
Yeah.
Southern Bell County,
Which, man, if you look at, kind of map off a corridor from like 487 to 195. There's a swath of land in there. I don't know why nobody's built a golf course out there. Especially now that you got the vineyard out there on 47.
Absolutely.
It'd be perfect out there.
That's why I just got to thinking about it. I didn't ever remember seeing a golf course out there. And since you grew up in the region, that's why I thought I would ask that question.
I'd take that back. Mill Creek in Salado. Probably
that's as close? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's like 20, 25 minutes.
Sun City's closer to Florence than Mill Creek.
Yeah, but like I said, Mill Creek was around before the Sun City course.
That's true. And now what?
Especially living in Andice, like the Sun City course is like 10, 15 minutes.
Yeah, and now that's the golf courses there at Sun City are now private.
Yeah, Cameron was telling me that the other day.
Right. Used to be able to play White Wing and what's the name of the
Cowan
other
Creek.
Yeah, and now those are private. Whereas Mill Creek, you can get a tee time and go play Mill Creek in Salado, right? It's a daily fee course.
Yeah. I mean, if I did that, I'd pass a lot of good courses on my way.
Yeah, probably so. Okay, you had a question.
Yeah. Why does it smell like cat pee in the studio?
Did you make a trip up to Gerald recently or something?
No, that would be. I like where you're thinking. Like deductive reasoning would tell you that that's probably the most likely answer. But no, just like I don't know. Blackie was sitting here and there's this bag of stuff he left here. I don't know, it smells like it's kind of a waft of cat urine passing by my nostrils.
Okay. All right. Well, okay. So
I did that during the break.
Yeah. Okay. You could do that. Somebody said, I think they meant to say the Killeen course. It's got Killer's course is now called Stone Tree.
They've redone it, upgraded old Killeen Muni here in the last few years.
Yeah. Absolutely. Somebody said, is it me or does Don Miller sound like Patrick Davis from the afternoon show? I was driving in earlier and I was like, why is Patrick Davis doing traffic? I guess there's a similarity.
When I first met Patrick, I was like, oh, you do the traffic updates, right? And he's like, no, that's Don Miller.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Two tracks, though, Craig, that I've frequented in my adult years have been closed. Quail Creek down in San Marcos. And then there used to be a 9-hole Texas State course that's now been wiped out. There are intramural fields there now.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Some nice-looking intramural fields.
Someone asked the question, what about Berry Creek in Georgetown? That's in my neck of the woods. It's in my neighborhood, in fact. That's a private club.
When are you going to invite Cam up there to play?
Well, first of all, inviting Cam to play would require being a member.
Ah, okay.
Okay? I'm not a member.
I figured.
At least not yet, anyway. Okay. I haven't been a little busy. Like I said, I play 4 to 5 rounds of golf a year. Would it really be worth a country club membership to do that?
Do they really? If you apply for a membership there, do they really need to run that up the flagpole? They just can't rubber stamp that right off the bat?
Oh, stop. I don't know.
Seriously, Craig, come on.
I have played the golf course, but it's been a long, long time. There was once my former father-in-law, when my first wife, when she was alive, and the in-laws, they lived. I told the story about how now that I bought the house that they used to own, and so I I played that golf course with him one time, and then one time he asked me if I would be to your point, quote unquote celebrity or whatever, and they had a fundraising golf tournament.
There you go.
For something. So I did. I came out there. So I think I've played it twice. That sort of thing. Not an easy golf course.
Hey, is Cimarron Hills in Georgetown, is that a public course or a private course?
Very private.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I take it you've never played Cimarron Hills?
Not yet.
Okay.
I remember going out. This one was working obviously at the other place when the plans were first laid out, and of course it's a Jack Nicklaus design.
Mm-hmm.
And Jack Nicklaus himself showed up, and we went out there for a press conference. It was great. Yeah, the Golden Bear. Yeah, in person. So it was great there when they were building Cimarron Hill. So there's beautiful golf course country out there. There's
it's God's country.
Yeah. Cooter says Craig lives in Berry Creek. Dang, I didn't realize radio paid that well. It didn't. There were a sequence of events that allowed the thing to happen the way it
I'll
did.
plead the fifth on that.
Part of that was selling the large house where I raised my 4 kids with my wife in Cedar Park. So it all ended up working out off of the deal. Somebody said I knew Bucky was older, but actually old? No, dude, I don't think Bucky urinated in here, if that's what your question is. And someone else said I had no idea Quail Creek closed.
Yeah.
That's where the 2A Regional Region 4 was held back when I was in high school. I got smoked my sophomore year by 2 guys in my group, defending state champ and a runner-up from the previous year.
Yeah, it is. Pour one out for Quail Creek.
So, yeah, Eagle Scout says Quail Creek was notorious for losing a golf ball in the middle of the fairway due to crevice-sized cracks. Lack of water was their downfall.
Definite lack of water, definite fairway issues. Definitely the kind of course where you got to watch for snakes in the rough.
Yeah. Somebody else said I used to love both of those courses in San Marcos. I wish Quail Creek was still open since I live in Kyle now. It was actually a cool track. The Texas State course was fun as well. It was good for beginners.
Yes, it was. Novice players like myself.
Okay. Somebody asked, doesn't Nolan Ryan live at Cimarron Hills?
I think he did at one time.
Yeah.
I don't know if he does anymore. Okay. I actually thought he lived in your neighborhood at one time too, Craig. I thought Nolan Ryan was a resident of Berry Creek.
I never knew that. Never heard that. Our good friend Gene Watson used to be.
Okay.
The assistant GM
Maybe
of
I'm
the
imagining
Royals.
things.
He
failing to remember.
He has since moved, but he did used to live there. Bizarro Dale Dudley says, I surveyed that course in Cimarron many moons ago. We met Nolan Ryan out there too. Hell of a good guy. Yes, he is.
Hey, would you like to know who our guy Belton Gringo's taking for his Masters pick?
Who's he like?
He says he's going with D's nuts to.
Oh, okay. That's
Masters.
nice. Nice.
Shout out to Belton Gringo.
All right.
Ran into him last week.
Yeah, you did.
Oh yeah, you were out. I ran into Belton Gringo when I was at Car Traders of Austin.
You know what?
week.
I'm impressed with Belton Gringo because there was a time he was an angry. I don't know if he's a young man. You met him. Was he a angry young man, angry older dude, angry middle-aged guy?
We'll just say an angry man.
Okay, he was an angry man for a while.
I can't really age date.
Okay,
Belton Gringo.
Okay, he was an angry guy, and we saw it from the list of all of his texts to us. And when we pointed that out to him, he said, "I'm going to make some changes."
And he told me he's making a concerted effort.
That's cool.
To kind of mellow out a little bit.
I salute him for that. That's good.
Just like Nick Saban, I appreciate a good D's nuts joke.
Oh, yeah, that's out there. Absolutely, Nick Saban did do that. I Like Ike says, we delivered pizza to the Ryan family on Super Bowl Sunday back in 2004 in Cimarron Hills.
There you go.
So that was back to that. Wags admitted on the air he has taken a dump and urinated in the studio on different. No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. Maybe
the only
dog.
The only studio dump that I know of was the remnants of Deucegate.
Yeah, but that wasn't done in the studio. That was the bathroom that led to.
No, Deucegate was the incident we had over here.
With the dog. Yeah, with the dog. I'm saying no human waste was deposited in this studio.
Man, if there was,
that would be just. There would be a large number of us who would have a difficult time coming to work here without assurances and things of that nature.
That's a turn in your key card offense, right?
Yeah.
I would think.
John in the Bay says, tell CDC to put Stanford on the football schedule. I'll get you guys on at the Olympic Club. Wow. That would be worth it. John, I might just fly out there on my own. to do that.
I'm sure Wags wasn't talking about when, the snowpocalypse happened over 2 years ago, and it was allegedly pancake stacking in the bathroom.
Oh, that's bad.
When the plumbing failed.
I'll be your plus one for that, Craig.
Yeah, how about
Olympic
that?
Club? Oh, man.
Fred Yates, somebody had said the superintendent who was a big part of the building of the 3 Sun City courses is now at Bandon Dunes in Oregon.
Oh, wow.
How about that? That's pretty exciting stuff there. So, yeah. CB wanting to know, Jeff, how can you breathe if you smell cat pee? We had cats when we first moved to Austin, namely female cats. I hated that smell, the worst smell ever. I don't smell it over here, but I've had trouble with allergies.
By my nose.
Okay. And I've had issues with allergies lately anyway, so,
I got that rabbit in the house now, so I'm smelling all kinds of.
See?
My sniffer's working overtime.
Yeah, it is. Have you had to clean up much rabbit pellet?
I had no idea rabbits pooped so much.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Like,
rabbits they drop it everywhere.
It's like, one of those candy machines, like you turn the nickel in.
Yeah, and you get a handful of...
like a handful of chiclets or something. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, a rabbit's south end is like one of those gimmicks.
Yeah. Very illustrative of you.
I have to. By the way, Charlotte named the rabbit Parsley. So Parsley the rabbit.
Okay.
So I let him out of his cage yesterday just to get some time running around the house, let him get some exercise.
Yeah.
And he just stood on sat on his haunches on the carpet, on the living room carpet for a good 30, 45 seconds.
Because you knew what he was
doing. And he's
doing.
like, his jaws are working overtime. I'm like, man, he looks like he's in deep thought. And then he ran off, and I'm like, there's just a big pile of pellets sitting there. I'm like,
oh, yeah.
How can something so small just
do that much?
Yeah. Leave that much remnants behind.
You leave somebody caged up for long enough, they're gonna, they're gonna drop deuces everywhere.
Well, he's got a receptacle in his cage where he can do his business, but I guess he'd rather do it on the living room
would you want to do it in your bed? I mean,
I give our dog grief because I tell Daisy she's the only animal in the house that doesn't have the only being in the house that doesn't have a receptacle to use the restroom in. She gets free reign of the yard.
Oh gosh. All right. So somebody says, has anyone checked to see if anyone's using a cleaning product with ammonia? They tend to have similar smells. See? That could be part of that. Yeah. That cat pee does have that kind of ammonia.
Yeah, it's nasty.
Smell that.
Like cleaning the cat litter box is easily the most disgusting activity I partake in every week.
Well, Buhika says, Jeff, you have to build an outdoor pen. I raised them for FFA. They're not ideal indoors.
Well, he's about 6 weeks old, so we're making progress towards that.
Toward that end, somebody else said, I heard you can train rabbits to use a litter box.
We're
I would pay to see you training a rabbit, man. That's worth watching.
Here's the deal with the rabbit. This was the rabbit deal. When Tamara brought it up to me and Charlotte really wanted the rabbit, I said, we can get the rabbit. Rabbit maintenance is you two. I'll handle cat and dog. I'll continue to handle. Rabbit maintenance that's all y'all.
Okay. Oh, boy. Okay. All right. 2 items on my bingo card, says Victor, rabbit and chiclet pellets. Yeah. They're parsley pellets. And Joe number 2.
There
the parsley pellets there. Somebody else said, hey, did you know rabbits eat their own poop? There's a certain enzyme in it that helps them with their digestive process. Now, go have some breakfast. Yeah. Yeah, I think we're going to transition out of that and talk about some other things. That's all we'll have to say about that.
I did have to stop the dog from trying to eat.
Ew.
Well, they're dogs. I mean,
yeah, they sniff. They're curious. Yeah, I mean, my dog, we let her out in the morning, and I told you where I live over in Berry Creek, there is a profusion and an abundance of deer. They're everywhere. Roger Wallace was just amazed by it when we were driving back from the airport in Killeen late Sunday night, and he had parked his car. I told him, just park at my house. We'll go in a car up there. And so he did.
Right.
So we're pulling through the neighborhood, and I said, I got to be careful. And you know that road you turn off 195, Shell Road?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So to go the back way into my house, you turn on Shell Road and go down and hang a left on Shell Spur. So you go in that back way. And I said, now there's deer all around here. This is why we go slow. This was the road where Linda clipped the deer. And so we turn, and there's they were everywhere. So
trust me, after living in that part of the area for most of my life, deer
you
can
see
be a
them,
problem.
and so going through there, deer regularly trespass through all of the yards in our neighborhood. So sometimes there's leftover deer poop, sometimes. And so my dog, when she goes out, if I take her out front, she's got to go to this one corner of the yard that the deer seem to really favor. So even though I don't see it a lot of times, but she'll go over there because she's smelling it. Because like you said, dogs, they like to smell those things.
Right.
They just do. All right. Ammonia smell, somebody said. Check out a chicken house. And no, thank you. Yeah. So that's all that is. So
my wife's grandfather had turkey farms when she was growing up. So, when you had not all the turkeys are going to survive. So part of your job is you got to go around the turkey house and dispose of the dead turkeys, the dead chicks. So
and Angela Horn already angry with us saying that. Slow sports day, I guess. 25 minutes in. Okay. We started to do some things. We get it. We get off the track. We come back on. It's the way the show rolls. It's not, we're talking sports 24/7. This is what we do. That's not us. Sorry. It isn't. Now, we are going to talk some Longhorn stuff coming up. We're going to hear from David Pierce.
And the foosball with Sark.
Yes, we're going to have some foosball with Sark. We're going to hear from Ryland Galvan as well. You ever talk to Ryland Galvan?
Nope, not yet.
Yeah, and we hadn't either until yesterday. And he actually said to Ty Harrington, I've never done anything like this before. And he was actually pretty good. So
nice.
we'll have that coming up in. And so now, Angela Horn, you're incorrect. You said, man, almost 30 minutes in, y'all haven't mentioned any sports stories. Not correct at all. I opened the show and said we were going to discuss the Longhorns' victory. We were going to talk football. We were going to hear from Coach Sark. We've talked about the Masters.
I didn't even realize Cam, you were wearing the Masters shirt.
Yeah, he's got a Masters T-shirt today. Okay. So selective hearing at work here, Angela Horn.
What that set you back, Cam? About $50, $60?
That T-shirt?
I got it from my dad. Not sure, but probably something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, because I was started to point this out earlier. You were wearing a regular Masters polo shirt the other day.
On Monday, yes.
Yeah, Augusta National's awful proud of their stuff.
Now you got the T-shirt. Yeah, and they'll sell you that thing right out by the guard gate. You cannot roll up to the clubhouse, but they will sell you if you're interested in some merch. You can get some there on that. Okay, Angela Horn, we're getting to you. Hang with us, okay? we're getting there. So, all right. And I understand the texters asking about the problems with the technical thing. I'm going to get to that. I'm going to explain with that what happened with that yesterday, because efforts to remedy that particular issue will be underway tomorrow. As Jeff is finding this out for the first time for me, it will bring about cause for me to have to leave the program a little early tomorrow. So,
all right.
But I'll explain it all when we come back. This is Light the Tower on the Horn, 104.9, 101.9, AM 1260. We're live, local, and digital on the Horn app and hornfm.com.
Chad and Zay.
2 strippers break into my house right now, put a gun to my head and say, "B. Lang, we're going to take you to lunch. We're going to go see a movie, but you got to pick the Gonzaga game first. I'm going to lean towards Gonzaga. And we'll go grab sushi and we'll go see Creed 3.
There's a lot of people that go with the what if somebody broke in my house analogy, but only B. Lang makes the assailants strippers. Like, I think that really adds something to it. That's what I like about that analogy.
Weekdays 12 to 3 on the Horn.
Hey, want to remind you that with the Masters getting underway, and we did talk quite a bit about the Masters early on in the program, but the Masters, of course, tees off tomorrow. Longhorns are at home this weekend, so their games will be televised as well. Major League Baseball's underway. Final weekend, final few days of the NBA regular season. If you're not happy with your home entertainment system, then you need to be in touch with our good friend Tom McKay in Audiovisual Consultations, because they do have the equipment, the expertise, the knowledge, the know-how to give you the home entertainment setup that you've really kind of had your eye and your heart set on for some time, and they can do it at a budget price that'll work for you, because Tom McKay will work with you and within the budgetary constraints you might have to make sure this thing happens. He's not raising prices like some of the others are, and you don't have to worry about going out and fishing around through the big box stores to try to find something, specific HD TV that you're looking for. Chances are Tom and his staff already have it in stock, or Tom can lay his hands on it pretty quickly. Check them out on the web at avconsultations.com, and then give Tom and his staff a call, 512-255-8678. Let Tom McKay and Audiovisual Consultations help you realize the home entertainment system of your dreams.
A Cover 3 weekend brunch is the perfect way to kickstart a relaxing weekend. There's nothing like getting together with friends, family, and colleagues enjoying a delicious brunch with a Bloody Mary bar at Cover 3. The atmosphere at Cover 3 is always lively, and their Bloody Mary bar is a hit with brunch. With a selection of different mixes and garnishes paired nicely with their delicious fried New York strip steak and eggs, or the breakfast quesadillas. Make the most of your weekend at Cover 3. Google Cover 3 to find a location near you this weekend.
Gear up, Texas. Get ready for the Daredevils of MotoGP at Circuit of the Americas in Austin. See Mark Captain America Marquez, Fabio El Diablo Quartararo, Brad Bradical Bender, and Jack Thriller Miller, the greatest riders in the world at 220 miles per hour, elbow to elbow, all the way to the finish. MotoGP Red Bull Grand Prix of the Americas, April 14th through the 16th. Get tickets now at thecircuit.com.
Looking to sell your home on your schedule? Then lock in a guaranteed cash offer from Orchard, and you'll start the spring with a celebration. And here's how. Before Orchard, selling your home was a long, stressful process. We've all been there. But with Orchard's cash offer, you can forget about showings, listings, even upgrades. You don't worry about waiting weeks, even months to sell your home. Orchard's cash offer guarantees the sale of your home and enables you to sell when you're ready. And Orchard can save you even more time and money by recommending and taking care of costly repairs, as well as specific home improvements. And to back me up, here's another 5-star review, this one from Matt here in town. It's hard to put into words how great our experience with Orchard was. First, there was the cash offer that exceeded our expectations. Then we sold our home with them for well above that price. Orchard gives you the certainty that your house will sell without all the hassles of selling it. Orchard's cash offer guarantees the sale of your home and enables you to sell when you're ready. Sell your home on your schedule? Then lock in a guaranteed cash offer from Orchard, and you'll start the spring with a celebration. Get a free, no-obligation guaranteed cash offer from Orchard. That's Orchard.com. Orchard.com. One more time, Orchard.com.
When professional Austin builders and landscapers need actual metal, they go to South Austin Metals, the go-to distributor of steel products in Austin. Pouring concrete? Come see South Austin Metals for your custom cut embed and base plates, plus load-bearing flitch plates and beams for your construction or remodel jobs. For brick or rock work, South Austin Metals has the lintels or custom lintels you need. Can't get to the store? They'll bring it to you. And South Austin Metal will match or beat anybody's price. South Congress and Industrial Boulevard. Think metal, think South Austin Metals. SouthAustinMetals.com.
You can find it online, you can build it online, and you can have it delivered right to your home. LeafJohnsonFord.com. You don't have to come see us to get your new Ford. We'll come see you at LeafJohnsonFord.com. Not only can you get your best price, you can have your trade appraised and pick the financing option that fits you and your family. The entire process is right at your fingertips. And remember, every Leaf Johnson Ford comes with a 7-day money-back promise. Check it out online at LeafJohnsonFord.com.
Have you been diagnosed with prostate cancer? The Austin Center for Radiation Oncology is now offering SBRT, radiation therapy that can be accomplished in as little as 5 treatments for patients who meet certain criteria. SBRT safely delivers radiation precisely to the cancer with very little exposure to surrounding tissue. At the Austin Center for Radiation Oncology, Central Texans don't need to travel far for world-class cancer care. To learn more, visit our website at austinradiation.com and call us to schedule your consultation.
Light the tower.
How do we always do this? Turn ourselves around. Remember when those sweet memories used to soothe us, used to make us smile.
This is Light the Tower on the Horn. Craig Way, Jeff Howe with you. Cam Parker, producer, alongside as well. You know, all that talk about all the golf courses. So here is a question for the Specs text line at 337-3776. 512-337-3776. Favorite golf course you have played of all time. Has to be one you have played of all time. Not one to go to or like to or want to or whatever, or a golf course you want to play.
Yeah.
A golf course that you have played, your favorite of all time, Cam Parker, is?
Austin Country Club.
Oh, okay. Good call. That, okay.
But I've have a very limited selection of courses I've played, unfortunately, so far. I mean, I played a decent amount, but there's a lot more that I know that I would probably like
that
I haven't played yet.
Okay.
St. Andrews is top of the list.
Yeah, I'm with you there. For me, it would be the place where I got married last summer. Now, ironically, I didn't get to play any golf there last summer. I was busy getting married.
Yeah.
But the Dunes in Myrtle Beach, I've played it before. It's very, very, very nice.
Nice.
And I do plan on playing it this year when they go back, because the guy who runs the place said he owes me a round of golf since
there you go.
I had the wedding there. So I said, I'm going to take you up on it when I come back there.
There you go.
Next month. How about you?
Mine would also be a seaside course, Palmilla Beach in Port Aransas.
Oh, nice. Okay. All right. So
it's an Arnold Palmer course, and hey, any course that Todd Dodge says is quality, then I've got to go with that.
There you go. I remember we were talking to him when he played on that. Okay. Already someone's coming in. Bandon Dunes and does that say Sheep Ranch?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So there we go. Captain Caveman wanting to know the intro that you by our return cut there.
Song is Grass is Greener by St. Paul and the Broken Bones.
There you go. All right. All right. Somebody else pointed out Lajitas way out there along the Rio Grande.
I hear so many good things about that place.
You know who can tell you chapter and verse about Lajitas? Our own Ty Harrington.
Really?
Yeah. He routinely just hops on a plane with somebody good, and they go out there and they play 18. So yeah, there's something that Valor Creek I've heard of down there by Blanco. TPC Sawgrass, nicely done.
Bucky plays Valor Creek.
Yeah,
that is Valor Creek is not the course where Bucky, I think, was either 17 or 18, had to go post up on a tree and drop trout.
Yeah, that's good.
He likes telling that story.
All right, Stoner, if you've actually played Pebble, Spanish Bay, and Lakewood in Dallas, I salute you. So well done. Well done. Colonial, that would also be near the top for me, too, because I have played it one time. All right, let's, and again, so it's somebody's a Butler pitch and putt. Why not?
Nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with that. I grew up a mile from a full-fledged 18-hole par 3 golf course that was lit with bunkers and ponds and all that. I mean, it was full-on a good Twin Oaks, it was called, and it was really cool because par 3 courses in North Carolina, as you know, Cam, they abound. They're in lots of places. Just real estate being what it is out here, there aren't many. They're in.
Maybe somebody can buy some land off 487 and
see,
maybe even towards the Gerald side and class it up a little bit.
Yeah, and have a real full-on par 3 course.
I hope this texter that said the UT Golf Club is hands down the best. I wonder if they stayed at one of their beautifully furnished casitas.
One of the casitas, as Matt Brown will tell you, stay in one of the casitas. That's good. I've enjoyed that. How about Texarkana Country Club? It was in Austin. It cost a fortune. Look it up. Byron Nelson was the pro at one point. Someone else with Pebble Beach. Yeah, so good for you. All right. We'll get to more of those. Again, your favorite golf course that you have played. You've actually had the sticks out there and have played. There, I didn't say necessarily played well. You played. Okay. So there you are. All right. It's time now for the notebook.
Jeff Howe's Longhorn Notebook.
First, we start with baseball. Longhorn baseball team did bounce back with a win over Air Force yesterday, 7-1. It was a really neat thing, and we've had several people already weigh in on the Specs text line about this, and that included, I think CB had mentioned as well, and a couple of other folks said, hey, I hope that the Air Force Academy will come back. They are coming back. There's a double midweek next year like there was last year. So, and I know many folks were really pleased to see that happen. They said, CB said Texas needs to make the game with Air Force a yearly game because it's awesome every time they play. They come in, and, of course, the way they stand at attention and salute for the national anthem. The Texas fans, again, chanted USA, USA afterwards. that was pretty cool yesterday as well. Longhorns did win the game 7-1. They got 3 home runs. Peyton Powell hit a 2-run shot. Dylan Campbell a 2-run shot, and Rylan Galvan had a solo homer in the game as well. And they got a variety of decent pitching as well. It was a designated start for Ace Whitehead, or as they know him, Boogie. And he went 4 innings, and so we got the win in the designated start. But they had a couple other guys, including Kobe Minchie, make his Longhorn debut. I thought about you because he does list Gerald as his hometown, even though he was homeschooled.
Yeah.
And he was a move-in later, but he pitched a 1-2-3 inning on 7 pitches, and that was his Longhorn and collegiate debut for the freshman.
Nice and tidy.
Yeah, and so they've got it. It's good to see DJ Burke get back out there. He hadn't been out there a couple of weeks, and he pitched well. Also, Chris Stewart continues to kind of rebound from when he had some struggles back a couple of weeks ago, but he pitched well Saturday, and Stillwater pitched well again. So all of that was a part of the partial post-game interview, and this is going to get to the texter's question earlier about something I'm going to get to with Longhorns head coach David Pierce and our Ty Harrington with the conversation.
Coach, as always, first, congratulations on the win. How about the respect from this crowd tonight to stand there and chant USA for our Air Force Academy who came in here? I mean, that's unbelievable respect.
Yeah, it's very touching. I mean, we got a taste of it in the regionals last year, and they're a special group, and they're close to our heart. They do some things that none of us even will have to consider, and it's just a lot of respect from our fan base, from our team to the Air Force Academy, and just really proud of our fan base to begin with. Just when you look at a 4 o'clock start on a Tuesday, and we had a great crowd, great day for baseball, and a great day for the Longhorns as well.
Take us through the pitching. You got a lot of guys out there. Ace Whitehead gave you 4, and you got 10. A lot of guys got in there. Tell me a little bit about moving forward with the staff.
Yeah, I mean, we still have some pieces that we're looking at, and Chris Stewart is one of those pieces that we got to get him in the zone and pitching. Like his down and away is kind of the elevated fastball up, and he has to hone that in. But I like what we saw there. Heston Toll is Heston Toll. He's going to give you nothing but strikes with the slider and mixing the fastball. And then it was great to get Kobe Minchie in there. He's been working his tail off, and we don't put guys in there just to give them a chance. They earn that opportunity, and Kobe's been working hard. And then Berkey hadn't pitched in a couple of weeks, so good for those guys to come in and pound the zone. I don't think we gave up a hit after the 3rd inning.
And then the interview, it continued on for a couple more questions, but you couldn't hear it at that point. There's a couple of reasons for this, and then it gets to the texter's question, saying, I listened to your baseball broadcast yesterday, first through the Texas Sports Audio, later in the car on 1260. In both cases, the audio was very spotty. I could understand most of your words, and both you and Ty would often sound like you're in a well. When you were talking about the designated pitcher term, talking about designated start, I could not understand Ty at all. Sound like he was using your mic. I knew you'd want to know. Believe me, I know. Okay, I know. There were a confluence of 2 things that happened yesterday on the broadcast, and it's unfortunate, but I can give you some comfort. I can certainly take some comfort in knowing that the efforts are being made to make sure that those are remedied. One is an equipment issue with a lot of the equipment that we've used for a long time with baseball in the booth. It's not used for any other sport. It's only used there for home games at UFC Dish Fall Field. But it went through – it was almost like the audio board we were having yesterday was having a stroke, because 3 audio pots at various times completely went out, stopped working entirely. And then there was another one that went in and out. And so that was, trust me, from my end, that can be pretty frustrating. But there's another issue, and this is a larger issue, and it speaks to the texter's question, and this has nothing to do with our equipment. When he said, sound like you're talking in a well and some of the other stuff, that max headroom sound for you old school, that little vibrato that you hear, that warbling as we call, that's an internet issue. And it's not an internet issue with our equipment. Unfortunately, they're having some of those issues at UFCU Disch Falk Field with the way the internet is wired at the ballpark. That's the best way for me to explain it. Now, understand this. There have been many conversations since that stuff happened yesterday. And there had been, for folks who listen pretty regularly, you could probably hear a little bit of it here and there. And I was told it got better after like the third inning or something, and then it kind of smoothed out. And here's how I know. Like some of the highlight calls, the one on the Peyton Powell home run was just warbled all to heck. And similarly with Dylan Campbell. But the one for Rylan Galvan was pretty clean. And a couple of really good defensive plays. It's pretty clean. So it did some of it kind of smooths out for whatever reason. So anyway, rest assured, the university is working on some of those. And then tomorrow, I'll be ducking out a little bit early to get over to the ballpark early. The aforementioned Patrick Davis, who sounds like Don Miller but is not. Patrick handles a lot of our equipment things, the repairs and the adjustments, and he and I will be engaged in remedying the situation through a variety of means tomorrow with our technical equipment. So, yes, well aware of it, and if you think you were frustrated as a listener, try it from my side because it was difficult, but help is on the way. So hopefully we'll do that. So somebody named Ace has a nickname. Yeah, he does. Yeah, his teammates call him Boogie. Yeah, that starts with that. Okay. Are we doing some football?
Yeah, let's do some football.
Yeah.
We'll make time for it. Get over to Horns 24/7. My colleague Chip Brown, his morning column is on the running back battle. Just kind of how that thing has unfolded this spring. A lot of, we've heard a lot of really good things on Jaden Blue. C.J. Baxter's getting his feet wet. All this while, obviously, you're moving on from the Bijan Roschon era, and Jonathan Brooks has been dealing with the recovery from that hernia surgery he had after the bowl game. Sark even talked up Savion Red. We'll hear from Sark in just a second, but it's interesting. You've got a lot of guys that have different skill sets, unique skill sets, but all came to Texas as pretty highly touted players. So how is that thing going to shake out? And when you start to determine your personnel groupings, which is something I asked Sark about yesterday, how many of these running backs are going to factor into it? How are you going to use them? So this is Sark just talking about kind of a 30,000-foot view of the running back battle.
I thought Jaden Blue had a nice scrimmage, made some plays, especially kind of on the perimeter. He's a very explosive athlete. I thought Savion Red, from a position change standpoint, shows physicality that is really encouraging. Savion has obviously played receiver a year ago, and we know he's gifted as a receiver, but to really start running between the tackles, which is kind of what he did in high school, is kind of a wildcat quarterback. That's been encouraging. And I thought for said Baxter was good for him. His first couple plays were not plays that he's going to always, say those were my best plays at Texas. He kind of struggled early on, but then settled in and made some plays as the scrimmage went on. So Friday, when we get back out there again in the similar format, is going to be big for him to take that step of, okay, now I'm comfortable with what we're doing, and then start to see more of him, of what he's capable of doing.
This is one of those interesting running back years, Craig, and we've seen plenty of these at Texas. This is what this reminds me of. You've got kind of this group of veterans where you think you know what you've got, but you're not 100% sure, and you've got some really talented younger guys that are kind of waiting their turn. And we talked about the opportunities that Baxter and Savion Red and Jaden Blue have gotten with Keelan Robinson being limited this spring and with Brooks being out. But I think about 2001 is a really good example of one of those years. You had Victor Ike and Ivan Williams and Brett Robin, those guys had their roles. Then you had the youngster coming in from Midland Lee. So how quickly was he going to be able to get up to speed? 2020 was a lot like that, especially for Bijan because of COVID. He didn't have the normal transition to college football that a lot of freshmen get to go through. It's weird. You look at that 2020 running back room, Craig. You have 3 guys that end up playing in the National Football League with Keontae Ingram, Roschon, and Bijan. And again, 2 veterans that you pretty much knew what you had. But then, how are you going to get Bijan involved? How many carries is he going to get? At what point is he going to be up and running? Or do you force feeding him the ball? Whatever. I think you've got some of that right now, because I think you got an idea of what you got from Jonathan Brooks. I think you know what you've got with Keelan Robinson, but and you really don't know what you got with Savion Red or C.J. Baxter or even Jaden Blue, because he didn't play a whole lot last year. So it's a really interesting mix. I think that's a position battle. We'll see where it stands during the spring game. That's one that's going to you'll be hearing about this during fall camp.
Sure,
those camp scrimmages, how it's going. I want to get to this cut real quick on the tight ends. That's a position that I'm just fascinated by because of the drop off after J.T. Sanders. And what are you going to get out of Gunnar Helm? What are you going to get out of Juan Davis? Texas was a heavy 12 personnel offense in 2022. I think they'll probably be more 11 personnel, but Sark has talked about it ad nauseum. The most important position in his offense, other than quarterback, is tight end. So what he's fond of saying, and he's a little bit higher on the rest of that tight end group than maybe I and some others are.
Yeah, I think Gunnar, again, going into year 3, played a pretty substantial amount last year for us in combination with JT. I think Juan, the first, kind of 3 weeks of spring, has played his best football, has shown the best version of Juan Davis that we've seen. So, again, we have the addition of Spencer Shannon coming in the fall. So, again, as you work through it, you just want to be versatile enough. If you have to play with 2 tight ends, we can do it. If we're going to play with 1, we can do that. If we have to play with none, we can do that. And so that's constantly what we're working towards, so that everybody's comfortable in their role in the organization.
I didn't realize until looking at it, the Pro Football Focus numbers, Craig, Gunnar Helm played 260 snaps last year.
Yeah. What?
And by comparison, Casey Kane, a guy that you probably assumed you saw more, Casey Kane played 245.
Yeah.
So again, that Texas was a heavy 12 personnel offense.
I started to say did a lot of 2 tight ends, and there were times when he was out there for one reason only, and that was to block.
Yeah, and 12 personnel really benefited Texas last year, because with that 2 tight end look, with the talent you had at running back, it would force defenses to get out of that 2 high safety look where you could get more of your shots down the field. Now, when you don't quite have you don't have the proven commodities at running back that you had last year, and you kind of know what your tight end group is, do you maybe just to space some things out, maybe go space and pace on some defenses a little bit more, maybe put that 3rd receiver on the field? And what it comes down to, Craig, is I think for Sark, it's a simple question of, okay, what makes your offense more effective? Is it having Gunnar Helm out there, or is it A.D. Mitchell or Isaiah Ney or whoever that 3rd receiver would be? Because remember, he talked – it all ties in together. Like we talked all last year, never found the 3rd receiver, right? That's why you went to a lot of 12 personnel or that 6 O-line package. Could be the opposite this year, where you see more 1 tight end looks with the talent you've got a receiver, maybe some more true 3 receiver sets.
All right, so there you go. Before we get to the break, just a couple of responses there. This is what happens sometimes when you try to be upfront and tell people that then you wind up getting responses like this about talking about the issues that happened technically yesterday. Craig, we're supposed to be an elite college program, and we got internet issues at the Dish, and DKR's announcer during games sounds like I'm hearing a Whataburger drive-through order repeated. Don't we got money to have elite equipment? That's the kind of entitled bullcrap response that some fans have, okay? Just because the use of the word elite, it doesn't mean you don't have issues. Technical things happen. For example, the other question, somebody, it's time to invest in Dish Falk. Football gets all the money. Basketball has the mood. It's time for an annual Omaha sport to be recognized. Mike, on the text line. Mike, they have invested in Dish Falk. Have you not seen the new player development area down there? It's incredible. Dish Falk is still, I would say, the 2nd best ballpark in the Big 12 Conference.
Somebody brought this up on the flagship message board at Horns 24/7 the other day, Craig. They said, we really need to invest in the Dish. Our facilities have fallen behind. I'm like,
no, they haven't.
Was I?
You ever been out to Dan Law Field in Lubbock?
Did I imagine that they just built that facility? Oh, it's just like somebody said a couple weeks ago on the text line, said, oh, we need a new top-notch pitching lab. I'm like,
They have one.
They have made one of the best in the country.
It doesn't mean just because somebody, Mike, you mentioned Moody. They had issues at Moody this year. They had issues at Moody. DKR, as Stoner pointed out, some of the press conferences, there was that internet warble thing. It has just happened over the past 4 or 5 weeks where it was intermittent. Yesterday was the most acute example of it, and people are working on it. Top men, as they say in the Indiana Jones movie. So just relax.
There's various arenas and stadiums.
It's this deal about we're supposed to be elite. Why isn't this ready? Why isn't this working? Just chill, okay? It happens.
Y'all got Craig half hot.
No, it's just it's funny. It's just like in Breakfast Club. It's an imperfect world. Screws fall out. Things happen.
But I mean, there's been arenas and stadiums where I've had issues. I had internet issues at T-Mobile Center 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
And that's as good of a basketball venue in the country as you'll find.
Yeah. When you have a big facility that holds lots of people, electronics and connectivity issues happen. It doesn't mean the whole thing is going to hell in a handbasket or that it's falling apart. Just relax. We'll get it all together. And they will get it all together over there at UT as well. The equipment thing, we're definitely proactively going over there tomorrow to remedy the situation for our end to make sure that doesn't happen. So that's the deal. Try to be upfront with you, tell you what's going on. Then you get that, we're elite! Stop it. Okay. Inconceivable's up next. Now, here on Light the Tower on the Horn.
The Horn congratulates head coach Rodney Terry.
We're going to get everybody's best game, right, guys? Every night, right? We may watch some games and, we're preparing for teams and there's empty arenas a little bit. But we go to that arena, what's it going to be, guys? Sold out. They're coming to see Texas, right? They're coming to see us. We're the show, right? But we embrace that. That's not arrogant. Okay, everybody can't coach at Texas. Everybody can't play at Texas.
Catch Texas men's basketball next season on The Horn and Coke FM.
Here it was rainy this morning, and there's the possibility of some storms coming this weekend. I felt it and heard it up in Williamson County this morning. And just to let you know, we could be in for some severe storms on down the road. If you're worried about damage to your roof, because that's what severe storms can do, they can damage your roof. I'm going to ask you to trust John Hardy to give you an honest assessment. John Hardy and his great staff at Divided Sky Roofing and Solar. And if you just go through a 15-minute phone call with him or even do one of those online virtual appointments, you can find out if you do have roof damage, that it could be possible for you to get a new roof with those Timberline solar shingles. If you've checked into it in the past, said solar's too expensive, check again because the prices have gone down. Not only that, all solar products are eligible for a 30% tax credit. No money down and as little as $100 per month. With solar shingles, you own your own power. You pay yourself each month, not the power company. So why not give them a call at 512-995-ROOF. That's 512-995-ROOF, or check them out on the web at DividedSkyAustin.com.
Put your green thumb to work this spring with Callahan's General Store for all of your garden needs. The wide variety of tomatoes, peppers, and other plants from Callahan's, adding raised garden beds is a great way to maximize your garden space. And Callahan's General Store can help you do it. They have everything you need to get started, including all the tips and hints you'll need from the experts along the way. Get your hands dirty and watch your gardens grow with Callahan's General Store, still there at 501 Bastrop Highway between downtown and the airport. Remember, make it a Callahan's Day.
Mike Harge here for Allstat Beer. No impurities, no regrets. Allstat has a beer for everyone, whether it's an Allstat Light, Lager, Kolsch, or even an Amber. Allstat Brewery, German beer made here right in the heart of the Texas Hill Country. They only use fine German hops, malts, and yeast, and of course, that natural spring water. Allstat Brewery, German beer made here that I want you to enjoy. Allstat Beer, no impurities, no regrets.
The Whataburger Sweet and Spicy Bacon Burger is an all-time favorite. It brings so many flavors together in harmony, you might wonder if it's greater than the sum of its parts. It's got 2 all-beef patties, both of which fantastic. Crispy bacon, love that. Grilled onions, melty cheese. I mean, who would say no? And sweet and spicy pepper sauce. Yes, please. I guess we're kind of partial to every part. The Sweet and Spicy Bacon Burger from Whataburger, just like you like it.
Did you know there are 2 things people realize when buying a bed? Mattress research is hard, and everything sounds the same. So, how do you find the right mattress? Simple. Just follow the science to Factory Mattress. At Factory Mattress, our exclusive Right Fit mattress matching technology uses science, not salesmen, to take the guesswork out of mattress shopping. Plus, come experience Smart Life, the auto-adjusting, no-compromising bed of the future.
My Factory Mattress.
Upgrade to a smarter night's sleep this weekend, and we'll pay the sales tax, while you save up to 53% on over $170,000 in closeouts, with 0% interest for 5 years. Plus, get it home smarter, not harder, with free next-day delivery, setup, and removal. Experience the benefits of deep, restorative sleep by finding the right mattress today. Shop smarter, sleep better at Factory Mattress, for the love of sleep.
My Factory Mattress.
Like the Tower with Craig Way and Jeff Howe.
Inconceivable! 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 You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Well, it might be inconceivable to some folks who listen to the program to hear me respond to some of the texts that we had. Someone said, y'all gonna make Craig lose his mind. Angela Ward said, Craig's a little on edge today because I'd responded earlier about when he was like, you haven't talked about sports. And then somebody else, we're an elite program. So then when I respond, I'm the one on edge. Okay. All right. I get it. It's part of it. So anyway, and to the photographers who can't, the flagship station, the Longhorns get a stronger transmitter. You're being covered up by Tejano Music at Mopac and Far West. It depends on where it is, but there's FCC regulations. It's not a matter of just we write a check and get a stronger transmitter. You're limited by what the Federal Communications Commission is that. Cruder says to those griping about the broadcast issues, go support the team in person. Go to the dish. Toward that end, photographer says, you're the elite station. There we go. Police Chief Can too. Our friend said, I've never been to a Texas baseball game, wanting to take my 9 and 10-year-old boys. Where do you recommend I park? Obviously, the East Campus Garage, that's the one right beside the ballpark, is best.
Gotta get there early.
Get there early, though, especially for the cash parking ones. Mm-hmm. If you wind up on the short end of that, you're really kind of rolling the dice at it. But down the street and on one of the side streets over there, sometimes there's
like
for free.
If you park like off of Comal Street, by the cemetery, those spots fill up.
Yeah, that's why I say it's about getting there early. If you're going to do that. So people are like, "Hey, is Craig's uptight?" No. I'm quite.
Craig's fine.
I'm okay. So anyway, Stoner says nothing is ever supposed to go wrong ever. Never supposed to lose a game in any sport. Never supposed to have a technical problem. So that's the deal.
I think some people are envisioning Craig like Walter. I made like 2 or 3 Big Lebowski references like Walter. It was like, man, would you just calm down? It's like, calmer than you are.
And when I made the mark, when I said I still think it's the second best ballpark in the Big 12, someone said who's best? Stillwater? Yes. If you've been O'Brate, you'll see. It's amazing. So, but it's brand new. I mean, it just opened pretty recently. So,
where's Baylor still ranked? Because there was a time where that facility
was really near the top. It's still in the upper half. It is.
It's just solid now at this point.
It's solid. Yeah. In the upper half. And West Virginia's, which was a shared minor league ballpark, it has some weird quirks to it. But
so Baylor Ballpark would be one of those you have no real complaints, but nothing really outstanding either.
Because nothing really has been done that wows of late.
It's like the Target of ballparks.
It's there and it's solid. Yeah. That kind of thing. Okay. Let's go to inconceivable. Cam has the answer to the question we were posing yesterday with the Champions Dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And Scotty Scheffler, remember the appetizer? What was it, Cam? Scotty style, the sliders,
firecracker shrimp,
and in the firecracker shrimp. Now people heard what was on the firecracker shrimp, the sriracha or the chili sauce,
sweet Thai chili sauce, and then sriracha mayo.
Yeah, so there was those, but the question that kept coming up was, what are sliders Scotty style? But you have the answer.
Yeah. So, of course, last night, the Champions Dinner, and there's 2 things that came out of that. First thing is the sliders. The second one is the Live PGA Tour discussion that I would love to get into. But it looks like the Scotty style. So you got mustard on the bun, American cheese, lettuce, diced tomato, and pickles, topped with French fries.
Yeah, there it is, right there.
Why'd you have to go ruin it with putting fries on it?
No, it really does look good. Looking at the.
Oh man!
Look at that slider.
Come on, Jeff.
Look at that slider.
I will have an unpopular take, man.
Yeah, because look at it.
Like the Primanti Brothers sandwich that's in that style.
Yeah.
It's the most overrated sandwich in the food industry.
I didn't know we were rating the Primanti Brothers sandwiches, but I do like them.
I love other stuff at Primanti Brothers, just not that style sandwich.
Okay. All right. But that doesn't make it overrated just because you don't like it.
Yeah, it does, because other people will rate it and say, oh, it's the greatest thing ever, and I don't believe that it is.
Okay. So in your rating system, it isn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which is
in your rating system, it would be overrated.
Which for me is the one that matters.
I understand that. I understand that.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure we delineate your rating system from others on that, right?
Sure. However you want to couch that, Craig.
Okay.
Doesn't change the fact that Primanti Brothers, that sandwich not that great.
Okay. Remember we had the deal about how Drake was like glomming on to winning teams. It was his big thing.
Just bandwagon, yeah.
Yeah. Turns out he did more than bandwagon on UConn. He placed $350,000 in bets on the Huskies. So his total payout is going to exceed $1.3 million.
What did Floyd Mayweather put on the game?
I have not seen that.
Because if there's something to bet on, Floyd Mayweather's betting on it.
Wouldn't you like to be in a casino with Floyd Mayweather and Mattress Mac? Just, oh yeah, well, I'm going to bet on Houston. And, well, Houston didn't even have a team. I'm still betting on Houston. It's anything Houston. Mattress Mac is going to, Jim McIngvale, he's going to bet on that. And he's done pretty well with it. He didn't do so well with the Cougars, but he did well with the Astros. What, he win like $75 million, I think?
Have you heard the story about how Mattress Mac angered the people at the Houston Livestock Show and Rodeo for years? There's a year where he bet on like all the Grand Champion animals. Like, oh, Mattress Mac, tell us about the Grand Champion pig. Well, I think this pig is nice and sturdy, just like the nice and sturdy furniture you'll find at Gallery Furniture. I-45. And basically, he turned
I'm going to save you money.
Every win into a commercial for Gallery Furniture.
Okay, all right. That's how you build the empire.
There's more to that story, but that's part of the gist of it.
Okay. Something else to tell you about here. You ever get on an airplane and someone's sitting in your seat?
No, because I fly Southwest, so I don't really usually incur that problem.
Okay. Well, there you go. So you've never really had a situation, travel or otherwise, where somebody was sitting in your assigned seat or something. Nobody's sitting in your press box seat, anything like that.
The press box seat does happen from time to time, but it's usually at baseball. I just find somewhere else to sit. It's not that big a deal.
Okay.
Like Omaha too. Omaha is one of those deals that you sit wherever. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Only time that happened to me was at state championships.
Yeah.
Where I was sitting next to Matt Stepp and a couple other people, and this guy demanded that I move because that was his assigned seat. And I'm like, all right, so I'm gonna move 2 spots over so you can have
your seat
with your name on it.
Because he wants the one with the tag right there.
Deal.
Yeah. Well, a man is drawing praise online for insisting that a train passenger move from the seat he purchased ahead of time. So what happened was, and this happened on, of all days, April Fool's Day, naturally. This gentleman, this is actually his name, Boris Becker. Not that Boris Becker. Not the tennis.
Isn't that Boris Becker in prison still?
Is he?
I'll look that up.
Yeah, you do that. Well, this Boris Becker shared a video of himself on a crowded train, and he's a TikToker, and he approached a woman in an aisle seat and informed her that she was sitting in the seat he paid for. He said, "My place is 103." He told the woman, referring to the seat.
By the way, Boris Becker was released from prison in December, so
okay.
Good for him.
So he's on the streets again. Okay, good. Well, the woman who was sitting in his seat kind of awkwardly started to laugh, and she started pointing at other empty seats around her, and he said, "It's going to be difficult. My place is 103, and I need my place. I'm so sorry." So she said she understands. She got up to collect her belongings. As she gathered her suitcase, another female passenger went and sat in the seat. And she then started to chide the TikToker for asking the woman to move, but he maintained he intended to sit in the seat that he purchased. I purchased this one. So TikTok has received more than 7 million views about this.
Jeez.
About this seat kerfuffle. And the vast majority of the comments agreed that he was entitled to the seat, that he handled it properly. He didn't get belligerent. He didn't get angry. He just said, "You're in my seat. I know this is going to be a problem for you, but you're going to need to get up." I bought that seat. Even though there were plenty of other seats around, point was, I specifically purchased that seat. And a lot of times that's because you have to pay extra to get that specific seat.
Was it a window seat?
Didn't say if it was, but he said, "You're going to have to move from the seat. I'm sorry about
This is
that."
a window seat I paid for, then yeah, you're moving.
Yeah, so there you go. All right. Stoner asked, was it tax fraud for Boris Becker?
I've got it right here. Hang on.
Yeah.
Convicted for illicitly transferring large amounts of money and hiding assets after declaring bankruptcy.
That sounds like tax fraud. Yeah.
Yeah.
Or a version.
Oh,
of
he had
it.
already been convicted of tax evasion back in 2002.
And that's just added to it.
Yeah.
All right. Second hour, Light the Tower, coming up on the Horn.
Bucky and Aaron.
She knows good and well Jerry Jones has been paying her mom, so he's not denying that he's the father.
Unless his mom signed some kind of NDA agreement.
Well, I think she did. That was her argument, though. I didn't sign it. My mother signed it.
Yes.
And now I'm an adult.
And so I need more money, more
Show
money.
me the money.
Or show me that job. Give me that job. Maybe
I'm the new general manager.
Can I be the general manager? Can I run the war room this year?
Might as well.
Weekday mornings 6 to 10 on the Horn.
For the ones finding new ways to ensure the job always gets done. For the ones wearing many hats. For the ones who are hands-on, even from far away. And the ones keeping business moving forward. We are Grainger, offering professional-grade industrial supplies, plus real-time product availability and access to experts ready to answer your toughest questions. Call, clickgrainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This is Chad talking Underdog Fantasy, the easiest place to play fantasy sports, including the Masters. That's right. Masters starts Thursday. Get in on the Masters action with a PGA best ball. In the Albatross, you draft 10 golfers who you think have a shot to play well in the Masters and in the next 3 PGA majors. The highest scoring teams will advance after each of the next 4 majors. It's awesome. The further you advance, the more you win from a prize pool of $500,000. Get signed up today. Get it on your phone. It is so simple. Sign up today with the promo code HORN and get your first deposit doubled up to $100. Visit UnderdogFantasy.com or find them in the App Store. And don't forget to register with my promo code HORN to get your first deposit doubled up to $100. Must be 18 or over and present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-522-4700 or visit www.ncpgambling.org. Underdog Fantasy.
Gear up, Texas. The Daredevils of MotoGP will ride again at Circuit of the Americas in Austin. It's the World Championship of Motorcycle Racing, featuring the fastest riders on Earth. 3 days of spectacular racing action, demo rides, hundreds of interactive displays, mouth-watering Texas barbecue, cycle corrals, amusement rides, and so much more. MotoGP Red Bull Grand Prix of the Americas, April 14th to the 16th. Get tickets now at thecircuit.com.
Hey, it's Aaron Hogan. Are you in the market for a wood privacy fence for your home or business? The pros at Viking Fence have put together a how to buy a fence guide at their website to ensure that you get the best value for your dollar. It's a great place to find out if your contractor is specifying the exact grade of red cedar. If not, he may be substituting a lower grade that costs less. Is that same contractor specifying steel posts? Did they specify the thickness of the steel? Thin gauge steels are post to prone and breaking under heavy winds here in Central Texas. So visit them. The How to Buy a Fence guide at VikingFence.com. When you think fence, think Viking.
It's the perfect time to transform your home or business with fresh new color. The team at CertaPro Painters of Greater Austin handles every detail, worry-free, from start to finish. CertaPro Painters is the painting service you can rely on here in Austin, whether painting inside or out. John Bennell and his team are ready to protect and beautify your space with a fresh coat of paint. Go with the pros at CertaPro Painters of Austin. Get your painting project started today at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C.
From the UBO Business Services Studios, you're listening to KTXX-FM and HD1 BK, KTAE-AM Elgin, K270CO Round Rock. Guests on the Horn appear courtesy of the Vaqueros Cafe and Cantina Hotline. Vaqueros now delivers and offers curbside pickup. For info on placing your lunch or dinner order, visit vaqueroscafe.com. It's Light the Tower, your daily look around the world of sports. With Hall of Fame broadcaster and voice of the Texas Longhorns, Craig Way, and Horns 24/7 insider, Jeff Howe, on your live, local, and independent home for sports talk in Austin, The Horn.
Second hour of Light the Tower on the Horn. And clean up from hour number one.
Cameron, just give me a thumbs up if that taco's good. Okay.
Yeah. Somebody said I've been clean up from hour number one. I was telling a little bit about what happened with the technical issues, both with some equipment and also with the Ethernet cables and the internet wiring. That's happened on campus lately. They've had, and there is a theory, by the way, that some have traced back to the ice storms that said that some moisture got in and started up with that, because we didn't really have that problem in the fall during the SARC pressers. We didn't. It really started when we got, on into the spring, February, March.
Well, you talking about this athletic year?
Yeah.
No, we had that problem, but remember we found when we were doing the show from the press box, we found the one port.
That was one bad port out of the deal and at DKR, and again, that went to further the point that it wasn't just about Dish Falk. When somebody said football gets all the money and blah 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 blah. No. Technical issues happen. They do it a variety of areas.
Happens.
Yeah, it does. Someone saying the signal doesn't sound good. Somebody in Dripping Springs, Willie Nelson cutting in and out on your broadcast. Hey, if anybody is going to cut in and out, I'm okay with Willie.
I'm okay with Willie being heard.
Doing that.
Three words.
Yeah.
Horn FM app.
Yeah, I mean it does make a difference. And a lot of people really like the app, because it's pretty clean on that.
I'm a nostalgic person. I'm an old soul. I'm not that damn nostalgic that I'm going to sacrifice.
Yeah.
Listen, even like when I'm in Dallas.
Yeah.
I know I can get the ticket on their various frequencies, but I'm just so used to listening on the app that I just keep the app going.
Somebody said, Jeff, I grew up in the Burg. That's Pittsburgh. Tend to agree about the fries on a Permane Brothers sandwich. It's all in personal taste.
There you go. I mean,
totally agree.
I've had other stuff at Permane Brothers that I think did I have a burger there? Maybe?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah.
I've had that. And I like most of their sandwiches. I'm not a real big fan of sandwiches, believe it or not. Not a real big fan of just getting turkey on a sandwich. I do like the leftover Thanksgiving turkey sandwich, like Les Miles.
No, if you're going to go turkey, you got to go ham or something else on it.
Yeah. Because it doesn't do enough for me taste-wise.
Turkey can be dry. That's
it can also be a little dry.
That's what's underrated about some barbecue places. Like if you get one that does turkey right,
like
it's got a little juice to it.
Yeah, it's good on that. Somebody else, when I was talking about the ballparks, and I said, really and truly, for anybody that might have a complaint about Dish Falk Field, I said, go around to some of the Big 12 parks. And I mentioned Dan Law Field, and then somebody said, we were at Dan Law Field on Saturday. It's a completely different experience than the Dish. It felt like a high-end high school stadium as opposed to a Big 12 program. It's a small facility, that sort of thing. And that's a deal where they've kind of made an improvement here and they made an improvement there, but it doesn't feel like a hugely upgraded ballpark, that sort of thing. The visiting radio booth is in one of the coaches' offices that has a garage door that lifts up, and you're even with the bag at first. So it's
has A&M,
they do what they can.
Has A&M ditched the Olsen Field moniker? They just going straight Bluebell
It's
Park?
Pat
now?
Olsen Field at Bluebell Park.
All right, but they just call it Bluebell, right?
And I tip my hat to them because that's what they've done with that is really nice.
Yeah.
The ballpark is really nice. What they've done with it, they had quite the slugfest with Texas State last night.
Mm-hmm.
Bobcats scored 5 at the top of the first. Aggies scored 5 at the bottom of the
I was
first.
following that on the Twitter machine last night.
And when I got home, I watched the end of that. I was watching. How about TCU having to play at Tarleton last night? Went down to Stephenville and played there.
I don't know what Tarleton's baseball facility looks like.
Not bad especially for transitional Division I program type thing. TCU had to rally back to win that game 9-8.
Well, I'll tell you what, you talk about upgrading baseball facilities. It looks a lot different in San Marcos than it did about 15 years ago, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So you talk about that was a high school equivalent stadium.
The old Bobcat ballpark.
Yeah.
Texas will be there Monday night. Ty Harrington has already said sold out. Place is sold out. Yeah. I mean, it's not real big, so it's not going to take that much. As I would see, it's
But
like,
you're going to have
3,200 or
the
something.
overflow crowd of the softball stadium.
Yes. Yeah. So it'll be quite the vibe and the buzz and the atmosphere on Monday.
It always is when Texas goes down there.
Yeah, and there'll be a good buzz on Tuesday when the return game.
Mm-hmm.
They play the back-to-back Monday night in San Marcos, Tuesday at UFC Dish Fall Field. It'll be a lot of fun.
It's a fun
for
series.
Yeah.
We getting Herberts on Monday?
I think we made the commitment to do that.
Okay.
So I think we kind of have to do that. Somebody listening on the app says a delay on the app, but I love it.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. Are you talking about a delay in the ball games?
No.
If you're just listening to us to delayed, you're not syncing us up with anything. It's just us.
No, I think they were talking about during the game they were listening.
Yes.
To that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that's fine.
And listen, my wife will be the first to tell you if she can sync it up, almost anybody can. And she does. She'll sync up most of the time it's as simple as pausing your live TV and letting the delay on the app catch up, and then you unpause it. Presto.
Here's
it's synced up.
I'll tell you what, Craig. Here, John in the Bay brings up a really good question, and I played this I played this game with some of my media colleagues in the baseball press box last year.
Yeah.
How many member schools in the WAC can you name?
All right, let me try. Hold on. Because the WAC has undergone quite the transformation.
Mm-hmm.
Tarleton is one.
Yes.
Sam Houston is one.
They're transitioning out, but yes, current member.
Stephen F. Austin.
Yes.
Let's go New Mexico State.
They are a departing member.
Departing member, okay. Cal Baptist.
Yep.
Let's see. Who else? There's other ones out there. Utah Tech.
Is that the one that used to be Dixie State?
Yep,
okay.
That's the one. Utah Tech. Southern Utah? Or are they still in the Summit?
Southern Utah's in the WAC.
Okay, all right.
A couple of these I knew. A couple of these are still members from when Texas State was a WAC school. So
there's a Valley one, and there's still a Pacific Northwest one.
Oh, yeah. UTRGV is in it.
Yep.
And Seattle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah.
Who have I left out?
Abilene Christian.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
You mentioned Seattle, Tarleton, UTA.
UTA, yeah, moved out.
Cam, did you mention UTRGV?
Yeah,
Craig
did. Okay. And then Utah Valley.
Yeah. So the former Dixie State. Yeah. Or no, Utah Valley, different than Utah Tech.
Yeah. Any conference that goes from Nacogdoches to Seattle.
How about that? It's rather far flung, isn't it?
Has a lot of ports of call between there. That's wild, man.
Utah Valley wound up reaching the semifinals of the NIT. Lost to UAB, who then lost to North Texas, who won the NIT championship this year. Somebody said, why are other college baseball teams on the varsity app and Texas baseball isn't? Because Texas baseball is on the Texas Longhorns app. You can listen on the Texas Longhorns app, and it's free.
So when you're an elite school, Craig, you get your own.
Yeah, there you go with your elite.
Sorry, I had to poke the bear a little bit.
So will road games be on LHN this year?
Yeah, that's good. They're
Cam, I'm gonna if you were not joking, I would have probably just gone back there and just dumped you right in the junk.
Somebody said I listen every day in DFW, so I have to use the app. Never any issues. Yeah. So there you go. And the other thing about the delay on the app, the texters, I meant in general compared to the FM. Yeah, it's going to be a little behind it.
Yeah. Cam, were you the Eastbound and Down fan?
I still haven't watched it. It's on the list.
Oh man.
See, I'm not the biggest Danny McBride fan. Like I understand,
I'm with you there.
I understand his humor.
Oh.
I just got to be in the right mood. Same thing with Righteous Gemstones and Pineapple Express.
Love me some Danny McBride.
Yeah. So he said, does the university have Tom McKay on retainer to handle and install some audio equipment? Wish they did.
Yeah.
They don't. Pluckers. He's done
knows
a
what
lot
they're
of that at Pluckers. So CB points out Mattress Mac was a Longhorn. He was until he transferred to North Texas. He played for Hayden Fry at North Texas. He talks about how he was there with Coach Royal, part of that national championship team, and then he transferred to North Texas afterwards because Mac will tell you, Jim McInville, he will tell you, he goes, I was on the team, but I didn't play.
Hey, how many collegiate alma maters do you claim, Craig?
4.
4? Okay. Because somebody last week while you were gone, somebody didn't know that you were a North Texas grad.
Oh, that was the last of the 4.
Yeah.
The other school that I attended, the second longest attendance I had was Northlake College in Irving, which, by the way, got to I think it was the D2 National Junior College Final Four this year in basketball.
Wow, okay.
I was their PA announcer when I was in high school.
What's the Northlake mascot?
They are the Blazers.
Okay.
The Breaking Blazers. I remember I was trying to get one of the guys when I was in theater there to come to one of the basketball games. And he goes, what's the team name? It's the Blazers. He goes, why is their mascot a sport jacket? And I was like, don't come. Okay, just don't come.
To forget we had this conversation.
Somebody else said, I love Angry Craig when he fanned the week of the Texas-Arkansas game. I forgot about that.
What happened the week of the Arkansas
I don't remember that.
Did you go off on somebody the week of the Arkansas
Maybe
game?
I did. But police team, Craig reacted like Sark at the Alamo Bowl when the gentleman put his hands on him.
We still haven't, we haven't asked Sark about that because by the time we got to meet with Sark after the bowl game, so much had passed.
Yeah. So there you are. So he said, what's the deal with the terrible LHN telecast of the baseball game? Freeze frame.
Watching Bijan run on Sports Center right now. Man,
well, there you go.
Could have missed the hell out of that guy. By the way, go to Horns 24/7. Get that update on the running back battle.
There you go. Which is going to lead us to the break. When we come back, we do have our Flex 30 update. And then we'll have a Longhorn Notebook. We're going to hear from Ryland Galvan and also some more from Sark. We'll do that when we continue to Light the Tower on the Horn, 104.9, 101.9, AM 1260. We're live, local, and digital on the Horn app and at hornfm.com.
Chad and Zay.
In an Oklahoma drill setting, Earl Campbell, at his best, would you be able to bring him down? You get 5 tries. Waxahachie, Chad Hastings.
Can I get a metal chair?
No, just pads. Y'all got pads on?
Do they have, knives and stuff that come out of them like a transformer? Because no is the answer. I'm not bringing Earl Campbell down. Not one time.
I'm thinking so, too. I'm not trying to be the big man here. I ain't tackling that, brother.
Weekdays 12 to 3 on the Horn.
Hey, you've heard me tell you about our friends at Total Men's Primary Care. For you guys, this can be, the one-stop shopping area, so to speak, for your health care needs. Maybe you just need to get that annual physical. They're great at that. You go to, totalmens.com, you click on the yellow button where it says book an appointment, then you can book the appointment for yourself to get that annual physical. Maybe you want some weight loss consultation or perhaps even more than the consultation, a plan. They have a plan that can work within the biology of your body, and they'll do it through some programs that require the consultation and also some medication and some diet, things like that. And if you want to check out because you think there might be an issue with low T, they can handle that as well. They specialize in treating men with low testosterone. So if you've put off that conversation about any of those issues, go to Total Men's because they may have the answer. TotalMens.com is where you go to book that appointment. Click on the yellow button where it says book an appointment, and you can be seen usually that same day at any of their more than 20-plus Austin area locations. Whatever your health needs are, they can help you out. It's Total Men's Primary Care, the doctor's office just for men.
Ken Milam here, and I'm hopping around with joy this spring, all because Lake Travis Eye and Laser Center gave me my vision back. Lake Travis Eye and Laser Center are always offering the newest and best technology when it comes to your vision, like the Symphony OptiBlue lens. With the OptiBlue lens, get high-quality vision both day and night. For the best in vision technology, go see Dr. Kyle Rhodes and Dr. Tommy Dang at Lake Travis Eye and Laser Center. Tell them Ken sent you.
Hey, what's up, folks? Lifetime Longhorn Rod Babers here. Business owners, are you feeling the pressures of growing your business? It's tough to maintain momentum and still keep employees engaged. Insperity can help. They put over 35 years of HR experience to work, helping you with hiring, training, HR administration, and compliance while giving your employees. When your people thrive, your business can adapt and prosper. With Insperity, nothing seems impossible. Scalable HR, employee benefits, HR technology. Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
Most in the greater Austin area know that it's quite stressful trying to maintain a quality lawn. The answer is to hire the best local lawn care company, us. This is Terry with Weedman Lawn Care of Austin. Our turf management PhD trains outstanding techs and buys only the best of products. We make your yard greener, thicker, more kid-friendly. Strive to be weed-free and do so with an environmentally sound approach to lawn care. Suzanne M. of Hutto says, our family has been very happy with the Weedman. Had lots of weeds, not anymore. I love these guys, very helpful and great. Thanks, Suzanne. Go to WeedmanUSA.com today for a free quote and see how we'll relieve your lawn care stress. Weedman is recommended by landscapers, golf course superintendents, and people like Valerie Kay of Leander. This is Valerie, and I just called to say I love you. You do a great job, and everyone I come in contact with is so nice and helpful. That's quite a compliment. Go to WeedmanUSA.com for a free quote. Lawn care companies are not all alike. Go to WeedmanUSA.com today.
Spring weather is here and everything is going green. But wait, have you forgotten something? It's your water heater. Hi, it's Rita from my friends at Hambone Plumbing. Spring job number 1 is caring for your water heater. Did you know that flushing and draining your water heater is a solid yearly habit? Hambone can help. Plus plumbing installations, water heaters, and water softeners. For spring, go to Hambone for 40 years and 3 generations. Caring for your pipes and plumbing. 512-388-7030. HambonePlumbing.com.
License number M12470.
The return of Major League Baseball for a brand new season is this week's Leif Johnson Ford Return of the Week. If you count the year 1876 with the founding of the National League as the first true season of Major League Baseball, then the Grand Old Game opened its 147th season last week with some new rules, some new wrinkles, and a fresh outlook for 2023. The Return of the Week presented by Leif Johnson Ford, where if you don't like your new Ford purchase, return it within 7 days for a full refund. Leif Johnson Ford, Central Texas' #1 online rated Ford family. You can find it online, you can build it online, and you can have it delivered right to your home. LeifJohnsonFord.com. You don't have to come see us to get your new Ford. We'll come see you at Leif Johnson Ford. Option that fits you and your family. The entire process is right at your fingertips. And remember, every Leif Johnson Ford comes with a 7-day money-back promise. Check it out online at LeifJohnsonFord.com.
Growing a business is tough. Fortunately, Insperity helps me with HR administration, compliance, and more. When my employees thrive, my business can adapt and prosper. With Insperity, nothing seems impossible. Insperity, HR that makes a difference.
Craig Way and Jeff Howe light the tower.
The devil went down to Georgia. He was looking for a soul to steal. He was in a bind because he was way behind and he was willing to make a deal. When he came across this young man sawing on a fiddle and playing it hot, and the devil jumped up on a hickory stump and said, boy, let me tell you what. I guess you didn't know it, but I'm a fiddle player too. And if you'd care to take a dare, I'll make a bet with you. Now, you played pretty good fiddle, boy, but give the devil his due. I bet a fiddle of gold against your soul because I think I'm better than you.
The late Charlie Daniels.
Johnny, and it might be a sin,
y'all ever heard the devil went down to Jamaica?
No.
Devil was looking for something a little different. Going down to Jamaica.
I see. Okay. My broadcast partner on Longhorn basketball, Eddie Orrin, tells the story about Charlie Daniels. He's a big Tennessee Volunteers guy. And, of course, Eddie's brother-in-law is David Cutcliffe, you know. And Coach Cutt, at one time offensive coordinator, of course, tutored the Mannings and all that sort of thing. And he said that when Philip Fulmer was coaching the team and Coach Cutcliffe was the offensive coordinator, Charlie Daniels would occasionally walk in the locker room and he would always just say 2 words, and then he would walk into 3 words. Good game, Coach. Then just turn around and walk out. That's it. Good game,
Hey,
Coach.
speaking of which, now that I think about it, how come Eddie wasn't getting beaten over the head wondering where Arch was going?
Who said he wasn't?
I'm not around. You're around Eddie more than I am, so maybe you experience
Eddie just knows
that.
how to process all that stuff.
Well, that's true.
As opposed to me, who apparently, like somebody said, the Arkansas game, we had to think about it. Jeff and I had to think about this. What got me exercised during that Arkansas, it was one of the texters accusing me of being a T-shirt fan. Had been broadcasting games around the program for 33 years, but I was a T-shirt fan as a result of that. That's what that was. We had to think about that, to get that during.
And you mentioned it, and then it kind of started jogging some things.
Yeah. CB said, "Hey, it was 30 years ago today that Chris Webber called timeout."
Oh man, one of my crushing sports moments of my youth. By the way, shout out Ray Jackson. Ray Jackson, I know, listens to this station from time to time. He's still in the area.
One of my uplifting moments in my young adult days, because I was still, fan of North Carolina.
You're a young man still at that point, correct?
Yep. And so, yeah, it was. I
thought the Fab Five was going to get their title, and then at that point you realize, oh, man, it's really not going to happen.
Here's the things you have to remember about that. April 5th, 1993, 30 years ago. Here's the thing you got to remember about that. North Carolina was up 73-71.
Mm-hmm.
Michigan comes down. They get Weber trapped in the corner. North Carolina had only committed 3 team fouls to that point. Dean Smith said we were going to foul them there in the waning seconds. Anyway, in fact, they were about ready to foul.
Yeah.
And when he called the timeout. So, and that was a timeout they didn't have, and technical foul and all that kind of stuff. So I think Carolina was preparing to not give them a clean shot to tie or take the lead there at the time. But I understand why folks look at it as like a lost opportunity, even though North Carolina had the lead there in the waning seconds.
The only time I've heard Chris Webber reference it, and it was hilarious, he was doing color commentary for one of the NCAA tournament sites.
Yeah.
And it's a late game situation, and maybe it's Kevin Harlan, I forget who's the play-by-play guy, but he says, and Chris, this is a situation where you got to be aware of timeouts. He's like, yeah, trust me, I know what that's like when you need to be aware of timeouts late in the game.
Probably the only reference he ever made to it.
Right.
Because he was bitter for a long time about that deal.
I think in a lot of ways he still is.
Yeah. Well, he's not on the NCAA tournament coverage anymore.
No, and he and Jalen Rose have their little...
Yeah. But I really liked him as a broadcaster. I really did.
He was good.
I thought he was a really good analyst. I liked him that. But you remember, here's your trivia. You remember the guy who made those technical free throws to put
Donald Williams?
No, it was not.
Pat Sullivan?
Good on you. Pat Sullivan knocked down those. It was a Carolina team that had Donald Williams, who was the outstanding player, the MOP. But had Jeff McInnes, George Lynch.
Kendrick Rodel.
Yeah.
Was Serge Zwicker on that team?
Serge Zwicker was on the team. Henrik Rodel, you mentioned.
Dante Calabria.
And
Eric Montrose.
Kevin Salvadori. Yeah. and Montrose, yeah. So, anyway. All right. Yeah, that was 30 years ago today. Somebody said, hey, he traveled first anyway.
They
did. They didn't even call that.
That, the Fab Five guys that have talked about it, they said that's what they theorized, is that he got freaked out when he wasn't called for traveling, thought he did, and then just his immediate instinct was just dribbled
He said he
floor.
heard somebody yelling from the bench timeout, which is entirely possible.
Yeah.
There could have been a GA or somebody else that wasn't aware of the deal.
You could even see, I know Michael Talley was one of the guys on the bench. They're signaling timeout.
Yeah.
And there's 3 or 4 guys, when the timeout gets called, they're like, good job, Chris, good job.
Yeah. So, there you go.
Brutal.
Yeah. All right.
When I'm waiting for the text on my brother to say, according to the NCAA, that never really happened.
Yeah, you're right. Although their banners are back up now.
Are they really?
In Ann Arbor. Weren't they? I thought I'd remembered that they were putting those back up on that. While Jeff researches that, we'll go to our Flex 30 update.
Flex ATX for the best high school sports coverage. Listen to the Horn and go to FLXATX.com. Flex 30 is brought to you by Brain Vault. Brain Vault is a revolutionary and patented mouthguard that has been proven to help reduce the risk of concussion. Visit BrainVault.com and join the movement.
Okay, Cam, we talked a little bit about this yesterday, but now getting down to the nitty-gritty in the playoffs, regional semifinals, regional finals in these playoffs, and that involves teams from the area like Dripping Springs against Laredo Alexander.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of those. And I'm trying to see. Oh, here it is. The details on that, on where they're playing that Sweet 16 matchup. All it says is it's Friday night, 7 o'clock. Okay. So anyway, so Drip involved in that. So they're in the Sweet 16. Winner of that's going to get the winner of Pasadena, Dobie, and Jordan, or is that in the no?
I think it would be San Antonio Lee.
Yes.
And Rivera Raiders.
Yeah, that's
I'm saying that correctly.
Yes, that's Brownsville Rivera.
Yeah, on the 6A side.
Yep, that's on the 6A side of that. 5A side. Now remember, 5A, of course, includes Region 3. And that's where Pflugerville comes in, or Connolly comes in, right? So
they beat LASA last week. A great run for the Liberal Arts and Science Academy.
Absolutely.
The boys' side.
So Connolly plays Wisdom, and that contest also will be Friday, but it's Friday afternoon at 4 o'clock. That's in the Sweet 16 in Region 3. And the winner of that gets the winner of full share in College Station. Meanwhile, you got Rouse in Region 4 playing Brownsville Lopez, and that's going to be Friday evening at 7 o'clock. And the winner of that gets the winner of San Antonio Southwest and Mission Sherryland. That's on the boys' side.
Yeah, Rouse is the district champion. They're a really good squad. I think out of the team, I wouldn't be surprised to see Drip make it to state. I wouldn't be surprised to see Rouse make it to state on the boys' side.
Really? Okay. All right. Meanwhile, on the girls' side, you got Round Rock against San Antonio O'Connor, or North Side O'Connor. It's Westwood. I said Round Rock. That's Westwood is playing O'Connor. And that is going to be
1 p.m.
And yes,
kickoff.
Yeah. But that's 1 o'clock on Friday afternoon. And the winner of that plays the winner of Round Rock and San Antonio Taft.
Mm-hmm.
So Round Rock's playing Taft, and it's Westwood playing O'Connor from the north side there in your 6A regional. So you get a couple of Round Rock schools there with an opportunity to advance. And on the girls 5A side, Leander against their playing the winner of that gets the winner of Smithson Valley and McAllen Memorial. So and then you have on the Region 3 side, Georgetown against Barbers Hill, and that matchup will take place 11 o'clock Friday morning, and the winner of that gets the winner of Belton and Port Neches Groves. So soccer action to 6A and 5A regional semifinal level.
And if you're looking for where the locations are, it looks like for the boys, for the Rouse game will be Brownville Sports Park, which is the same location that Leander will be playing McCallum. Georgetown is playing Barbers Hill at Turner Stadium. Craig, you know where that's at? Because I don't.
Yeah. That's in Aldine.
Okay.
And in the greater Houston area.
And the Blossom Athletic Center with the Blossom Soccer Fields down in San Antonio. That's where Drip, the boys, are playing Alexander. So some great action for it. And then real quick, Flex Show of the night, 7 o'clock, Craig. Me and Zach Lucero, Nolan Hogan.
Yep.
And also Round Rock announcing their new head coach, Cody Moore, the former defensive coordinator, taking over, Jeff Cheatham taking over as, I believe, the athletic director.
For Round Rock ISD.
Round Rock ISD 4A program. They actually beat LBJ Austin 2 years ago. So Cody Moore, the new head coach. A lot of moves in the coaching carousel in the state of Texas for high school football.
Lest we forget, boys 4A Sweet 16, the Polar Bears.
There we go.
From Achieve, Austin Achieve. They play Hidalgo, and that's going to be Friday, 4:30 in the afternoon. in that regional. That's at Cabanis. That's down in Corpus Christi.
Okay.
Where they're playing that one there. And they get the winner of Bernie and Corpus Christi, London. The winner of that would meet on that.
Is the polar bears the coolest Texas mascot? I think the hippos are up there.
Well, it's cool, but there's a cooler polar bears in Texas. Frost.
Oh.
Frost polar bears. Get it?
Mm-hmm.
That
runs together.
Yeah,
I like that.
It really makes sense. Frost polar bears actually kind of makes more sense than Austin and Sheep polar bears. But it's okay. It's a good name.
What was Florence, Jeff?
Buffaloes.
Okay. The purple buffaloes, right?
Yep. Purple buffaloes, yeah. Yeah, the purple buffaloes. All right. There it is. There's your Flex 30 update with your state tournament soccer pairings now down to the regional semifinals and regional finals this weekend. Time now for the second hour notebook.
Jeff Howe's Longhorn Notebook.
Okay, yesterday, Longhorn baseball gets the win. They defeated Air Force 7-1. Rylan Galvan is a guy, speaking from guys down along the Gulf Coast, played, of course, for Adrian Alanis in that state championship program at Sinton, and says he's learned quite a bit as he is kind of understudying, you might say, under Garrett Gilmet, but playing, and I think David Pearson did a good job spelling him in, working in, while keeping Garrett's bat in line because it's been hot of late. Had him as the DH yesterday, and then Galvan hit his third home run of the season yesterday. An interesting conversation that he had with Ty Harrington after the ball game.
Tell us a little bit. Travel, just be on time for the fastball, and if I can get something off speed, catch it early. But those balls is a fastball, so I was able to let it travel, get deep, and eventually go over the right field wall.
All right, you've been the midweek catcher and feeling on Saturdays as well.
Yes, sir.
You get more comfortable behind the plate and get more accustomed to your pitching staff as it goes along.
Yeah, just trying to go out there in the days I catch and just make our pitching staff as comfortable and trying to make them better each day I go out there. And that's the main goal, is just try to be the best guy back there behind the plate. And whether I hit or not, that's just a bonus right now. But right now, just trying to go back there, be the best guy I can behind the plate, and make my team better and help our team win.
Got a quick turnaround with conference coming up, coming out of last week with Oklahoma State. You guys came out today with a little bit of fire offensively, coming out of there. And so moving forward, your thoughts, your confidence as you as an individual and this team moving forward into this weekend?
Just try to come out here, play my role as best I can, and give the guys a chance to win when I'm in there. And going forward, I feel like we're in a really good spot. After we're kind of felt like, we really didn't lose that series in a way, but we kind of gave it to them. And we felt like we definitely could have had that series won, but we feel like we're playing really good baseball right now and keep winning moving forward.
How often do you call Coach Alanis after games like this?
Oh, I usually text him on a daily. We're texting on a daily basis, so he gives me a text or we get on a call, and it's always good to talk to him.
Yeah, that's a really cool moment. They're talking about how he and Coach Alanis text pretty regularly. Hey, Adrian Alanis draws some high praise from none other than our broadcast partner on many Longhorn baseball games, and you hear him obviously doing the play-by-play on Longhorn Network Television, our own Keith Moreland, who says he believes Adrian Alanis can be a collegiate head coach.
Really?
He's that impressed by how he's worked with the guys. He said that guy can coach at the collegiate level. He could be a guy that could do that.
Wouldn't surprise me. He's a great high school player.
Yep.
We know he was a great pitcher at Texas, played pro ball, and that makes sense.
Yeah, and is already an accomplished and championship high school head coach
at his alma mater.
Might be able to
That's
take. Yeah. All right. So there's the baseball thing, and again, cross your fingers on this because of the weather forecast. But the plan is 6:30 tomorrow night, 6:30 Friday night, and noon Saturday would be the start time of the three games. And it's a real tight window. So for folks who don't know the rule about the Big 12 Conference, if they get rained out, the rest of the weekend's supposed to be nice. You just make it up on Sunday. That's not the way it works. From the time you land, you basically have 3 days. They don't put a stopwatch on you and say you got 72 hours, go. They don't do that. But you can't drag it into an extra day.
Yeah, I got a feeling we might be playing 2 on Saturday.
And if they play 2, may have to start at 9 in the morning.
Yeah.
Because from what I understand, Kansas State has a commercial flight to get out in time to play.
Gene Taylor, come on, help your guys out. Help the conference out with the standings.
Yeah.
Get them a charter.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Let's talk, before we hear football, because I want to hear the Sark cut about edge rushers, which is another position. I'm going through a lot of the position groups that fascinate me this spring. Actually, we need to hear about David Benda and the edge rushers. Switch it over and do some defense after talking offense last hour. Quick basketball note. This is where you're going to start hearing about some guys and their plans. You know, you've got Dylan DeSue, Dylan Mitchell, Arterio Morris. Those guys have some decisions to make as far as their futures go. You'll start, and you already are with some of these guys, starting to hear some buzz. You'll start to hear because this is the week that RT was supposed to sit down with those guys and have the exit meetings.
Right.
So this is when you'll start to hear, hey, maybe this guy's coming back. Maybe this guy might be looking at his options. Maybe he's going to do the draft waters but keep the eligibility bit going. So just keep an eye on that stuff. I do know, Craig, I did talk to someone in the building yesterday very, very briefly, and it sounds like it's just been – because a lot of guys, you talk about assistant coaches, support staff, a lot of people, until RT for sure was getting the job, they didn't know what their status was. So now it's a lot of, okay, now that you know that you're in, plus now you're behind on the portal because you were playing games while a lot of other people were in the portal. It's just been a lot of catch up this week for the staff. So everybody's kind of drinking through a fire hose over there. Expect today, and I think maybe by the end of the weekend, by the time you get to the weekend, everything will start settling down a little bit. But it's been a crazy few days in the basketball facility, as I was told. So just keep an eye,
I would imagine.
Keep an eye on that. Let's go ahead and hear these two cuts from Sark. Craig, my candidate for the John Harris out of nowhere award in 2023 is David Benda, and I asked Sark about him yesterday. And also, you'll hear him talk about Keaton Crawford. I mentioned Keaton's name, but how refreshing is it for he and the staff to have fourth, fifth year guys that you can count on? They didn't get in the portal. They've kind of paid their dues, and now reaping the benefits of some patience. Sark got into all of that on this cut.
I think David's had a good spring, but I think it started for David in winter, right? I think he had a good winter conditioning. I thought he was very intentional in his approach, not only from a physical standpoint in the conditioning aspect of it all, but also in getting with Coach Choate and digesting the scheme and what it looked like and how we wanted him to play. And it's showing up. You know, he's playing good football for us. Probably the best version of David Benda that we've seen to go along with the Keaton Crawford. I think this is the best version of Keaton Crawford. He's still doing what he's always done on special teams. He blocked a field goal Saturday, which is what we always expect of him, is the special team stuff. But what he's doing in the secondary now is very comforting to know that a guy can grow into that position. And the beauty of it is with those guys, they've earned their opportunities. Then now they're getting their opportunities, and they can be a model for a younger player who, living in this world of instant gratification of they show up and why aren't they starting now? Well, here's two prime examples of guys that have grown into a role and have worked at it to now contribute to the team. And so, hey, again, we're very appreciative of it because we invest a lot in our players, from the moment they arrive. And so when they stick it out 1 year, 2 years, 3 years now in their case, and now they can reap the benefits of the work they've put in, the investment we've made in them in all capacities of life, I think it's a win for everybody.
And we're gonna have some more audio, but we'll save that for tomorrow on the edge rushers and get a little more into the Texas defense. But that's a lot of the stuff we've been talking about all week and really through all spring, Craig. Some of those veteran guys.
And we'll hear some more from Sark tomorrow. We'll be back to wrap up today's edition of Light the Tower on the Horn.
Ball don't lie.
Your boy was gonna win it.
Yes.
I know how to work reality TV and acted a damn fool for a while. And they be like, man, this dude's so entertaining. We gotta keep him on the show. And then at the end, I be like, you know what? I don't want this. I realized what I really want. Propose right there on the show tour. And I told us I'll propose to you right there on national TV. And then the world would have to wait for the reunion and everything to figure out what happened. Your boy had it all planned out. They contacted your boy about it, and I was like, nah, I'm good. Wifey didn't go for it, so we here.
Weekdays 3 to 7 on the Horn.
One thing you can ask yourself whenever you get home this evening, or maybe you're home right now, just take a look at your home entertainment setup and ask yourself, is this really the way I want to watch my sports, my movies, my TV shows? And if it's not, don't delay. Just pick up the phone and call Tom McKay and Audio-Visual Consultations. Let them upgrade you, get you the home entertainment setup you've always wanted. 512-255-8678. That's 255-8678. I made that call about a year and a half ago when I made the move to my new house down in San Marcos, and I didn't know how bad I had it until now. I see how good I have it. I'm watching everything that I could possibly stomach on a 75-inch LG TV with a Sonos sound system. Tom McKay and Company, they keep the latest smart TVs and Sonos audio in stock. They're not raising prices like everybody else is, so you don't have to worry about, oh, I'm going to go here and get the TV, go here and get the sound system. Oh, I need to go here and get the mounting equipment. No, AV Consultations will take care of all of that for you. They'll put together a plan for your house that not only makes sense for your budget, but it makes sense for the amount of space you've got. So maybe you want that same setup like I've got. Maybe you need something smaller, or maybe you want that full tilt home theater experience. You can get that screen up to 150 inches just by picking up the phone right now and calling AV Consultations. Whatever your needs are, big or small, in the audio video realm, they can make it happen for you. 512-255-8678. That's 255-8678. Make that call right now and let Tom McKay and Audio Visual Consultations help you realize the home entertainment setup of your dreams.
If you have joint pain and they're telling you surgery is your best option, please stop what you're doing and call QC Kinetics. Hey, it's Aaron Hogan, and that is absolutely what you should do. The folks at QC Kinetics use the latest and most advanced regenerative treatments to bring you lasting pain relief the natural way. Regenerative medicine harnesses your body's own healing agents to restore and repair damaged tissue in your knees, your hips, your shoulders, and your back. The precision treatments are done in the office with no drugs and no downtime. And QC Kinetics has hundreds of clients all over America, about thousands of satisfied patients. If your joints are aching from arthritis or injury, look beyond the steroids and the surgeries and discover the amazing possibilities with regenerative medicine. Especially this time of year when the weather has turned, you need to be living your life to the fullest and doing all the things you love to do. If you can get relief and avoid going under the knife, doesn't it make sense to at least check it out? So do it today. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation, just a free sit-down at 512-593-4303, 512-593-4303. They have a location in Austin and in Round Rock. It's QC Kinetics.
When you're craving the delicious Whataburger Buffalo Ranch Chicken Strip Sandwich, time moves more slowly, like in this commercial. Because waiting for 3 crunchy chicken strips for 9 seconds feels more like an hour. Imagining melty cheese for 8 seconds seems like a fortnight. And picturing tangy buffalo sauce and creamy ranch for 13 seconds is like an eon. That's a long 30 seconds, but this sandwich is so worth it. Whataburger's Buffalo Ranch Chicken Strip Sandwich, just like you like it. Back for a limited time at participating locations.
Diamonds Direct is making it easier than ever to design your dream ring at your dream payment. Announcing all new aggressive financing options up to 60 months. These new creative plans allow you to pick your payment so you don't have to compromise on that engagement ring. We know that just like that ideal engagement ring, one size doesn't fit all. You want choices, alternatives, options, and as always, we want to empower you every step of the way. Diamonds Direct's multitude of finance options now allow you to spread your payments up to 5 years. Pay nothing down or pay a lot down. You decide. Get a $400 a month payment or a $200 a month payment. It's your choice. So you can get the most beautiful engagement ring and have money left over for other fun things like a tropical honeymoon or decorating the house. And by the way, it's not just for engagement rings. You can use these flexible financing options for wedding bands, designer jewelry, gifts for any occasions. At Diamonds Direct, we're always finding ways to help you make your money go farther. Your love, our passion. Get directions, showroom hours, and more at diamondsdirect.com.
Championship golf in our own backyard at Horseshoe Bay Resort with the famed Texas Triangle of Slick, Apple, and Ramrock golf courses. Apple Rock has the most picturesque views and water-lined holes in the region, like the 12th hole, a par 3 played over Lake LBJ. Holes are strategically routed to take advantage of the many higher elevation points that overlook Horseshoe Bay and Lake LBJ. Championship golf with scenic hill country terrain and panoramic vistas of Lake LBJ at Horseshoe Bay Resort's Apple Rock. Book now at hsbresort.com. That's hsbresort.com.
Seeking specialized patient-focused orthopedic care? Contact the experts at Texas Orthopedics. Our physicians offer comprehensive surgical and non-surgical orthopedic care for children and adults. Spine care, sports medicine, trauma care, joint replacement, rheumatology, and more. Whether it's a mobility or movement issue or a traumatic injury, our goal is to get you back to good health and quality of life. Visit us at txortho.com to learn more and to schedule an appointment. Texas Orthopedics, the largest independent orthopedic practice in Central Texas.
Butterfly Shrimp is back at Golden Chick, crispy, crunchy, and panko breaded. These extra large shrimp knock out all those big cravings. And now they're available as a 6-piece seafood combo for just $8.99. There are 4 delicious seafood combos to try, so the ball is in your court. Try surf and turf with Butterfly Shrimp and Golden Chick's famous Golden Tenders, or keep it real with the 100% U.S. farm-raised catfish. Longhorns, This is one buzzer beater. Seafood combos are for a limited time only at Golden Chick.
Golden Chick.
We're out of time. In fact, we're over time.
Cat pee smell dissipated throughout the show, so good news on that front.
Yeah, there you go.
Bucky Godbolt, pick up your trash, though.
Coming up
Put
next.
it in the receptacle.
Chad and Zay. For our man behind the glass, our producer, Cameron Parker, and from a co-host, Jeff Howe, I'm Craig Way. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 10 o'clock right here on Light the Tower.
Catch Texas men's basketball next season on the Horn and Coke FM.
This brand right here is incredible. I mean, it's powerful. It made me leave a head coaching job. We have elite coaches on this campus. We have elite student athletes on this campus. You know,